One thing you quickly notice about the Faroe Islands, there aren't any trees. Anywhere. An extremely windy climate with air soaked in sea salt makes tree growth nearly impossible. What does grow has to remain protected beneath the ground.
Oh my gosh, look at that. It's a bumper crop this year.
Yeah, you need the glasses to see them.
Meet Leif Sorensen. For the past decade, this chef-turned-food scientist has scoured his native land, searching for new ingredients to incorporate into Faroese cooking.
This was the first vitamin Faroe Islands, you know, what they were eating for 150 years ago to survive.
Yeah, tastes god-awful.
Yes.
Has to be great for you.
Yeah, it's very bitter.
Today, that quest has brought us to the field of his friend and farmer, Jan Douwer, near the windswept village of Gassadalur.
So for him, it was very bad, you know, when the storm came, you know, everything blown away.
This turnip was one of the few survivors of a summer storm that knocked out much of Jan's crop.
He means this is the perfect size. And you know, if it gets bigger, you know, the sweetness is disappearing.
Believe it or not, this is what life brought me here to taste.
It's almost like a mild pear.
Yeah.
See, if someone just blindfolded me and threw this into my mouth, I would never guess turnip when it's peeled like this.
Yeah, that's exactly.
It's like candy. Turnips are not something that you just eat raw.
Yeah.
They are here. The same moist, salty air that kills all tree life creates a consistent, slow-growing environment for root vegetables, absent some of the minerals that turn root vegetables bitter. These are, without a doubt, the sweetest turnips on the planet. So what would happen if the growing season were extended?
And the funny thing is, you know, when there is not so warm here in Faroe Islands, not so many microorganisms, so they are not attacking, you know, the roots. And that's make the taste so sweet.
For life, it took moving to Denmark and sampling a turnip there to realize how special they are here. Ever since, he's been obsessed with discovering all manner of local produce and creating markets in the Faroe Islands for small-scale producers like Jan Douwer to sell them in.
Please tell Jan that turnip that I had was the best turnip that I've ever eaten.
For 5 years, Jan's turnips were part of a rotating menu of local produce at Leif's former restaurant, the groundbreaking Koks in Tórshavn. He pioneered Faroese food interpreted in uniquely modern ways. Countless awards and accolades followed, but in 2014, he hung up his apron to create a state-of-the-art food lab tasked with crafting new takes on classic Faroese foods.
Fermented fish.
Cod?
Cod, yeah.
Yeah.
Few tastes are as classically Faroese as dried, fermented cod. Look under any eave here, and you'll likely see the fish blowing and drying in the wind. It's with that ancient knowledge that life turned this into this. In his time at Koks, dried fermented cod chips were one of his most beloved menu items. Here in his food lab, he's exploring ways to mass-produce this iconic Faroese flavor and export it around the world.
It has a really beautifully repulsive sort of front taste.
Yeah, aggressive.
I kind of like it.
After boiling, the fermented fish mush is mixed with dried ground cod, barley, corn, oats, and a secret ingredient Life wouldn't share.
You don't trust me, do you? At this point, it's fish pudding.
Yeah.
Really? Spatulaed, spread and dehydrated a few hours, then tossed in piping hot rapeseed oil. The fish quickly balloons into crunchy, fermented cod cracklings.
That's pretty great.
I like it.
The process that you go through pushes down that ammoniated, spoiled flavor at the beginning. So even people who don't like that flavor are gonna love this. It's intensely savory And the fishiness just comes on at the very end, just very subtle.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Yeah, I like it.
From mass-producing fermented cod chips to pioneering the use of seaweed to create a uniquely Faroese schnapps, life's work is slowly but surely unraveling the layers of what makes Faroese cuisine and Faroese culture tick. With time, their flavors the whole world will enjoy. The waters around the Faroe Islands are some of the freshest, cleanest, and coldest on Earth. For developing sea life and the men who harvest it, the place is paradise. And most of the available species have gone untapped for commercial sale. That's changing.
Everything you have seen so far in the Faroe Islands has been paid for by fish. Right. 99% of the export here is fish. And you can say that there is maybe no other nation on the surface of the earth that depends more on the sea than we.
Marnie Simonson has been fishing here his entire life.
I'm very excited, and the crayfish that we're going to see today are the best in the world.
They are called langoustine.
Yeah.
So they, you know, it's an insult to them if you call them crayfish.
Locally, Marnie runs Orca, a seafood export business based in the Faroese capital of Tórshavn. Globally, he's a living legend, keeper to some of the finest seafood on the planet. For over a decade, his shellfish has graced the tables of the world's best restaurants. Chefs spend years on his waiting list just to get a taste. I got my first taste 3 years ago at Paul Bartolotta's extraordinary seafood restaurant in Las Vegas.
Oh my God.
And you had to come to see where it came from.
I insisted. Yeah.
Okay.
Langoustines are cousins of the lobster. They make their home in the deep waters of the North Atlantic.
The langoustine is a guy that nobody has figured out, you know? He can disappear very fast, and he can come back in great numbers.
Faroese fishermen like Jan Andersen have been catching them for decades, but it was Marnie who created the global market for langoustine, pioneering ways to ship them live to the far corners of the earth.
On this spot where we are now, it's about 70 meters here. 70 meters from the boat down to the surface of the bottom. But from the surface of the bottom down to the rock, this particular 110 meters of mud. Yes.
Wow.
But this is the ideal environment for a langoustine to thrive.
Wow.
And
look at that.
Look, so this is a perfect specimen, you see?
Yep. Touchdown.